One of the largest challenges facing the world's most populous nation is food security. How to sustain food production for 1.4 billion people in India amid deteriorating soil conditions, diminishing water supplies, and climate change. For some, including hundreds of artificial intelligence startups, the challenge represents a business opportunity. From India, Fred Desam Lazaro reports.
From all appearances, this vineyard looks very healthy, but its owner must stay constantly on guard for pests or disease that can wipe out a crop. Another challenge, persistent water shortages.
Water full scarcity.
Water is very scarce.
Especially water management is very difficult.
Magnetic vessel.
Just over a year ago, Narayanappa Murthy signed on to a service that for between $30 and $70 a year offers a bounty of useful data. A sensor constantly monitors soil and leaves for moisture, which, along with weather data, is analyzed with artificial intelligence to provide guidance precisely tailored to this farm. It's led to big savings.
50 to 60% cut down.
So you have saved 60%,
60%
in your water bill.
Water bill and power bill.
Murthy has branched out to grow pomegranates and added a newer model of the sensor made by an agriculture tech startup called Philo.
Irrigation, all the way, it will be the same.
Philo has seen robust growth since its founding 5 years ago.
We are working with almost 10,000 plus farmers.
Shriyog Norlawar, Philo's sales chief, says in many cases the company's product has made the difference in keeping farmers in business.
The usage of water is 4 to 5 times excessive than it should be. So we have saved around 90 billion liters of water.
Pest and disease are the things.
The smartphone app tied to their devices is accessible in multiple languages, he says.
We have developed modules for all kinds of crop, for its irrigation management and for its nutrition management also in addition.
AI has enabled the ability to interpret massive amounts of raw data collected in the field or via satellites.
Today we have like 0.5 billion records of farm data from 103 countries on 500 crops and 10,000 varieties of those crops.
In 2010, Krishna Kumar founded Cropin, another among scores of agriculture tech startups.
Now this model predicts the future.
Most of his clients are large, multinationals like Walmart and PepsiCo, who are provided real-time intelligence about supplier farms across their far-flung supply chains.
What is the risk approaching? What disease can hit your farm in next 7 to 15 days? What yield you can expect? We layer thousands of variables on every unit of the farm. And then we scale that to a country and the supply chain. So you can package the data for various use cases, whether it's a sourcing decision, policy-making decision, you want to go to a newer country to grow a newer variety, how that variety will perform in that country.
Based in India's tech capital, Bangalore, Cropin, Philo, and others have generated lots of interest in financial markets. The question is, are they really improving this country's food security? For the majority of India's farmers who own only small plots of land, artificial intelligence might hold some promise, but their problems go well beyond the scope of AI. It's no use knowing when to irrigate, for example, when you don't irrigate your farm and depend on rainfall. It's no use knowing what market prices are when your produce can't get to the market on time.
Almost 80 to 90% of our farmers are smallholders.
Amit Prakash teaches technology and ethics at the Indian Institute of Information Technology in Bangalore.
When we start looking at them as problems, who need a solution that comes to them from either Bangalore or California or anywhere else or New Delhi, then I think we have started with a bias.
And that bias against small rural farmers has been the pattern for some decades when it comes to bringing technology to agriculture, he says. Data cannot capture the whole picture. For example, sending a farmer advisories that they can get a better price for their produce in Market 2 instead of Market 1.
They would still take it to Market 1 because they have been transacting with a person, a commission agent in Market 1, since their grandfather's time. Those kinds of relationships matter quite a lot.
Smallholder farmers, many living in poverty with little formal education, can ill afford risk, he says, and so they rely heavily on such relationships, the familiar. That applies to getting advice as well.
Knowledge absorption is better if I hear it from someone who I have seen or who I am able to relate to better.
And trust, basically.
Trust, yeah, and proximity. The person who is talking about whatever they have done on their farm is also a farmer like me.
We saw how farmers learn from one another through informal social networks.
That peer-to-peer approach is used by a group called Digital Green.
We are very clear. We are addressing the smallholder farmer.
Nidhi Bhasin leads the non-profit group, started in 2008 and now serving farmers in India and parts of Africa. It began with YouTube videos, with farmers sharing insights with each other, but has now evolved to a chatbot called farmer.chat,
We have built a multilingual AI chatbot assistant.
offering vetted expertise, weather and market information in the farmers' native languages.
Localized, cost-effective information advisory, which will help them to increase their incomes. We are also sending them certain information which is very contextual.
It's less foreign to the farm.
Yes, it's less foreign.
Chandrakala and husband Keshavamurthy have used it to help plan a climate-smart, sustainable farm with livestock, timber, fruits and vegetables.
People think agriculture means losses, and I want to prove that it's sustainable with short, middle, and long-term strategies.
They showed me how farmer.chat guided them to find a natural cure, neem oil, for a disease threatening their lemon trees.
I can use the phone to ask any number of questions.
Digital Green has tried in particular to reach women farmers and to work in more impoverished regions like India's Bihar state. In all, it serves 160,000 farmers in India and East Africa, meeting a tiny fraction of the need, Nidhi says. The group is trying to look to partner with private, for-profit players.
We also want a good balance between the two approaches.
Do you need to make those partnerships in order to scale further, you think?
Yes, from a scale point of view.
Professor Prakash agrees all AI players should have a role in sustaining small farmers, and it will take government too, he says, to update farm policies and infrastructure. Most of all, it will take farmers, he says.
We have to bring in the small farmers, we have to hear what they have to say, not from the perspective of providing them with a solution, but designing a solution along with them.
Along with them, at 150 million smallholder farmers, most of them marginal and struggling, but still a critical pillar of India's economy. For the PBS NewsHour, this is Fred DeSam-Lazaro in Bangalore.
Fred's reporting is a partnership with the Undertold Stories Project at the University of St. Thomas in Minnesota.